Hello friends, welcome to KT Research Guidance Bureau. Myself, Dr. Kumudini R. Thakur, founder member of the Bureau, would like to say few words for the Bureau. This Bureau is very helpful to all categories of students. Researcher may be interested to clear their NET, SLAT or any other competitive exams or may studying in master degrees like MBA, MCOM or any other master degree courses. So I introduce varieties of subjects and varieties of topics. You will find enough material to clear any sort of examination and increase your knowledge. So my humble request to you that please subscribe the channel, give your comments and favor for the Bureau. In previous session, I gave you the idea about simple meaning of planning, features of planning and nature of planning. Today, I will give you the idea about types of planning. For that, first we keep in mind dimension and type. Afterwards, I will give you detailed explanation about all types of planning. So far as first dimension is concerned, it is about coverage of activity. So far as coverage of activity is concerned, you can divide into two categories. One is corporate planning and another one is functional planning. Another dimension is importance of content. For that also you can divide into two categories, that is strategic planning and another one is tactical or operational planning. Third dimension is about time period, means time period involved in that sort of planning, that is long term planning and obviously another one is short term planning. Fourth dimension of planning is degree of formalization. So far as degree of formalization is concerned, we can divide again into two categories. First is formal planning and another one is informal planning. And the last dimension is about approach adopted. So far as this dimension is concerned, we can divide into proactive planning and reactive planning. So this way you can classify all types of planning. Now let's try to understand these types of planning in detail. First of all, corporate planning. This government is introduced to uplift the corporate, and obviously none of the government can provide 100% employment opportunity to total population. So corporate world is one of the best source for their employment. So they have to plan. So corporate planning means the planning activity at top level which cover the entire organizational activities. So suppose you want to establish your company, then you have to do entire planning for that one. Same way, all existing companies, they have to plan out their total activities. So that is known as corporate planning. And the main focus of corporate planning is to determine long-term objectives and to generate plans to achieve them. So, if you want to understand corporate planning, then understand the planning of Reliance. First, they started their business with one production, and today, as per the requirement, as per the opportunities, they expand their horizons. So, Reliance is one of the best example. So far as banking industry is concerned, you can take the example of ICICI Bank. This way, try to understand it. Then, functional planning, we know the simple meaning of function. So, functional planning means to decide the functional activities and accordingly plan them. Suppose production is one of the function. Then human resources management, that is one of the function. So as per the function, they have to plan their activities. Suppose in one of the organization 100 employees are there, and out of them suppose 25 employees are going to retire in near future, then obviously they have to plan out for the recruitment, and they have to make the provision for their retirement also, because they have to offer so many things at the time of retirement. That is functional planning. So the main focus of functional planning is to manage the function. Then you can consider marketing also. Marketing is one of the function. If you are unable to sell your product, then obviously you can't generate profit, and it affects your production also. So as per the focus of the organization, in big organization, you can observe functional planning very nicely and easily. But if the unit is small, then one person may cover so many functions. In that one, he has to plan accordingly. So, we have to keep in mind corporate planning and functional planning. The another planning is strategic planning and operational planning. Now, in our commerce stream, strategic management is one of the main area, because you want to get success, and for that you have to design the strategy. So, let's try to understand strategic planning and operational planning combinedly. First one is range of choice. So far as range of choice is concerned, in strategic planning it is broad, while in operational planning it is narrow. Obviously, it is for the operation of that task and strategy that you have to design to fulfill your objectives. So it is broad. Second thing is type of environment. So far as type of environment is concerned, strategic planning is mainly based on external environment, while operational planning is obviously based on internal environment. If internal environment is good, then operational planning is little bit easy. And strategic planning is mainly based on external environment. So as per the external environment, you have to change or you have to modify your strategy. Then only you can get success. So far as primacy is concerned, your strategic planning is design direction, means it is first one, and operational planning follow the strategy, means it is afterwards. First design the strategy, for that which sort of operations are required, and as per that you have to do your operational planning. Then fourth point is level of formulation. So far as strategic planning is concerned, generally top level management they do strategic planning because they are fully aware about the external environment. Without that, they can't run their business very nicely. And operational planning, that is middle level or lower level activity. First, top management they design their strategic planning. To fulfill that objectives, they design the operational pattern, and that pattern they inform to their subordinates. It may be 3 level subordinates channel, or it may be 2 or 1 level, but that is middle or lower level activity. And so far as time duration is concerned, generally strategic planning is long term planning, means day to day you can't change your policy, otherwise your subordinates they are unable to work. How to work? And operational planning is comparatively short term. So as per the strategy, they have to change their operational planning. So keep in mind this difference of strategic planning and operational planning. Another type is long term planning and short term planning. So first of all, long term means for a longer duration. Short term means for the short duration. But what is the time period? Generally, up to 1 year planning is considered as short term planning, and more than 1 year, it may be for 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, that is considered as long term planning. So, obviously, short term planning is more successful compared to long term planning because for the short term you can guess the environment, you can modify your planning as per the government strategy, and for short term it is possible. But if you design the policy for long term duration, and if the circumstances are not in your favor, then it is very harmful to all, not only to business but for the societies also, for the investors also. Reliance Power is one of the best example. Their long term planning was completely failure, and today we can see the position of Reliance Power. So chances of success are more in short term, and in long term risk is more. And the country like India, if the government changes, policy also changes. Then you design your strategy and planning as per the present government. And if the government changes and they change the policy, then obviously it is harmful to you. Let's take one example. Suppose you are interested in public transport, and afterwards government levied heavy taxes for that, or the another cheaper transportation facility is available, then you have to bear a loss because that strategy is for the long term. So when you plan as per the time, keep in mind these basic points. Then formal planning and informal planning. formal planning, we know generally it is black and white. Your higher authority, they will suggest you so many things and they will convey the message to you in a written form, and you have to plan your schedule as per that instruction. That is formal planning. And informal planning means it is not in black and white. If you follow your boss, if you follow his words, but if there is a failure, then your boss can say that I have not informed you this way. My meaning was different. So, formal planning is very good, and when you will be the employee of any of the organization, that time keep in mind this formal planning. But generally in majority of the organization, side by side informal planning is also exist, and many times informal planning is more powerful than formal planning. But every company and every organization, they have to design their formal planning so that employees and everybody, they can understand what company wants to do and how they will do, what are the rights and responsibilities of the employee. So that is the main thing. And another one is proactive and reactive planning. I hope you can see this long tennis. Many players, they play reactively, means they wait for the action, and as per the counterparty's action they react only, they will not design any strategy. And proactive means first they attack. So if you have hidden information about the government policy, then as per the policy, means as per your interpretation assumption, you can design proactive planning. But if there is no source or you have no idea, then simply you have to react. Suppose in budget, in this budget tax slab is same. So if you will get more income than compared to last year, this year you have to pay more tax. For that you have to make your planning. That is the best example of reactive planning. So when you think about the planning, that time keep in mind these types of planning. Now what happens? Many times the planning is very perfect, very powerful, and very intelligent fellows, after collecting the data, they made the planning, but they are unable to get success. So there are some planning strategy, or if you understand the barriers of effective planning, then at least up to some extent you can protect yourself. So let's try to understand barriers of effective planning. First one is problems of rapid changes. If changes are very quick and rapidly, fashions are changing, instruments are changing, then every time to buy the new and modern equipments, it is not possible for the company. So what happens? Suppose one company is existing since last 13 years. So obviously they have little bit old equipments, and one company hardly started the business 6 months before. So obviously they have all modern equipments. So you can see the effect of this equipment on production. So if the fashions and technology is changing rapidly, then it is one of the main barrier of effective planning. Another thing is internal inflexibility. Many times employees are not ready to change themselves. They are not ready to learn anything. But this government find out so many solutions for that one. So one is psychological inflexibility. Government introduce new farmers that policy, but people are not, means some of the people, a group of people is not ready to understand that one. This is known as psychological inflexibility, and they know everything but intentionally they are doing these things. So it may happen, but right now this modern generation has little bit more flexibility, and if you are able to convey your message logically, then they are ready to change themselves. Second one is policy and procedural inflexibility that we can see in government. In government, their policies, formalities are too high. So compared to private organization, government is unable to get good success. Their planning may be good, but due to this government and previous governments also, they are unable to taste the fruits. And another one is capital investment. If capital investment is too high, then it is not possible for any of the organization to change the instrument or these things very easily and quickly. These are the some of the factors of internal inflexibility. Now external inflexibility. Among them, first one is political climate. If political climate is such like that, then your planning may not get good success. And trade unions. If trade unions are very powerful, then obviously they are not ready to change anything, and they feel that they have to work more. But in our country right now, trade unions are not that much powerful. So it may possible that company may take benefit for that one. If you will not work, if you are unable, then we will kick you. So this way it is beneficial, and this way it is not beneficial also. But if trade unions are more powerful, then generally inflexibility is more. And tactical changes. For tactical changes also, your planning may not get good success. Then another thing is time and cost factor. If your planning takes too much time and too much cost, then obviously it will not get success because you will lose the opportunity. So keep in mind time and cost. Then another main point is failure of people in planning. If people are unable to plan, then obviously you will not get good success. So keep in mind. Another thing is measure for making planning effectively. So if you want to plan effectively, then keep in mind some basic things. First of all, establish a climate for planning, that this planning is for all, not only for top management. So at least create a good environment, and they have to feel that this is our planning, then obviously you will get good success. Then top level, they have to take the initiative. If they will take enough initiatives, then they can convey good message to the employees or the subordinates. If top management feels that my planning is perfect, now no need to convey this message to anybody, I am paying them, so they have to work, then you may not get good success. So you have to take the initiative. Then the third point is participation of planning process. Inform your employees that please participate in our planning, give your suggestion, and company is always eager for your good suggestions, and company is ready to modify everything, then you can get success. Then communication of planning elements, obviously there are some basic elements, that elements you have to communicate to all, means those who are in the company. Then integration of long term and short term planning. Many times what happen, your short term planning is in another direction and long term planning is in another direction, then obviously you will not get success. But if your long term and short term both types of planning they are integrated, then obviously you will get good success. And keep your system open so that everyone can feel that it is my responsibility to contribute my best efforts and to make the plan successfully. So, today I gave you the idea about types of planning and then how you can make a good or effective planning. Please keep in mind, subscribe the channel, give your comments and favor for the bureau. Thank you very much. So nice of you.